Actually, some really important information you'll find out in the future. Atomic explosions. The truth. Declassifying atomic physics. Referencing Dr. Victor Levy, 1915 and 1906. Dresden was a stain on British history. A beautiful city was needlessly destroyed for hour after hour in a firestorm that raged for hours. And every time it started to go out, they'd come again. Another wave and another wave. Fighters came over afterwards, machine gunning anyone seen on the ground, to create a layer of devastation that was discovered and then hidden. And it was only through the excellent work of the historian, the mighty historian David Irving, that the story was known and now is discussed as oh dear, what a shame. Isn't war a terrible thing? Well, why was it done? This was the end of the war. The war was over. Now, similar conditions were noted in other cities, not in Europe, in Japan, in Nagasaki and in Hiroshima. Exactly the same conditions were noted on the ground. And yet there, we'd seen nuclear explosions go off. So we associated the mess on the ground with a nuclear explosion. And then said, oh, that's worth it because we entered the atomic age. Brilliant. But that a nuclear explosion doesn't cause devastation on the ground like that. It causes devastation on the ground like the Tunguska event in 1908. The Tunguska event was the experiment from Dr. Victor Levy, who passed his physics in 1906. Physics doctor, 1906, Alexander von Brill, Max Planck, all that team, quality men, real smart people, but really not very nice people. And so they carried out a nuclear explosion, and the evidence is the Tunguska event. What happened there? The trees, look, the trees are all flat. There's a circle, ground zero, a flat disk, and then all the trees around it are just flattened. And so what happened was there was a compressed air release, because the moment of existence is created, measured by Planck's constant, is created by compressed air. It's a recursive system where water, liquid, moves one way and air, gas, moves the other way. And that creates a system with a center and a boundary that is created by compressed air at the center, and that you can't naturally access that air, that energy. It's really powerful. That compressed air that's created by universal rotation in each molecule of water should be inaccessible to the creatures that live here, because it's the moment of existence itself. And so if you break it, you need to use a clever system of forces, spherically set up to form a shell of force greater for a moment than the universal rotation that created it. So you're taking a step above God. And that the compressed air is released. Bang! Mighty explosion. Disk force, equatorial disk force, and of course a plume of explosion, because of what happened as a sudden dimensional union that shouldn't exist. You cross between meter and second, you've got a direct straight line, a meter and a second, and you should never have less than meter square per second squared. And so that's a nuclear explosion, and what it does is it destroys the psyche, because we are water. Our memory is the memory of water. If you twist that melon, you unlock memory or lock memory, and we forget who we are. And that explains the Tartarian buildings. That we had Tartaria and we forgot that it belonged to us, and we let them knock it down. So that's atomic physics. It's a lie, right? Atomic energy is about control of the psyche, and that's what this is all about, and that Dresden proves that. Okay, you ready, world? So atomic physics has been declassified. The Earth is now provably the center of the universe. It's a simple model of spheres and a torus, force-based. We know who we are. And more importantly, we know God exists and that God's watching us, and that the words of Christ are the words of God. So fucking listen to him. Get on with it. Please. Let's end this madness now. I love you. Follow the Rebel King.